Okay, seriously, 3 stuffed chickens could fit inside of this beautiful 10-quart electronic pressure cooker from Elite. This is the one that does it all. And pressure cooking is such a great way to go. You know, it used to be that it was a little scary because when Grandma had hers, it rattled and rolled in the kitchen. No longer. And Elite, being our #1 best-selling brand of pressure cookers, we've sold hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of the Elite brand here at HSN. And this particular pressure cooker is a big customer pick when it was $159. It's $50 off tonight. It's our showstopper with, by the way, reduced shipping and handling, and 5 flex, making it only $21.99 to get yours delivered right to your front door. We have blue, orange, black, and red, all 4 colors available, but with over 230 being pre-ordered, these are going to go quickly. I had a feeling that was going to happen, and knowing that it's $50 off and knowing it's this pressure cooker, the one you want is right here tonight. Kelly Deardling stays with us tonight. Thanks so much for hanging out tonight.
Hi, absolutely. It's my pleasure. It's been a long day, but it's been really fun.
It has.
I love this pressure cooker. I love Elite. I love pressure cooking in general. Couple of reasons. Maybe you've been intimidated by, maybe you're thinking of Grandma's pressure cooker. It jiggled on the stovetop. She cleared people out of the kitchen. That's not this pressure cooker, okay? It doesn't jiggle. It's electric. It's silent. There's no issues whatsoever. Take that intimidation. Just brush it off your shoulder. A couple of reasons I would love for you to just jump into the world of pressure cooking. #1, it's faster. Much faster in terms of 50 to 70% depending on what you're cooking, okay? Big difference. #2, it's a more nutritious way to cook. We'll talk about the science behind pressure cooking, but all the nutrients stay intact. But #3, and most importantly, because at the end of the day, the food tastes amazing. Pressure cooked food is unlike any kind of flavors you've ever had. The reason is all of the flavors get infused under pressure. So every piece, every fiber of your meat, of your vegetable, of your bean, whatever's inside gets infused with the liquids you place inside.
It's amazing, especially I'm glad you brought up the beans, because how many times you soak the beans overnight and then you still make them the next day and they're
dry,
still
from dry.
Yeah, exactly. From dry in here, it takes a fraction of the time. We're going to be pulling out some big, beautiful meals here. And here's what I love about this 10-quart is that you can still make something little for a family of 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, but you can make something for the entire neighborhood.
Like a turkey.
Like a turkey.
Like a 15-pound turkey.
15-pounder.
Have you ever thought that you would do a pressure cooker turkey in under an hour?
That is a party.
So you can brown it in your oven if you want to, but you don't have to.
An hour?
Just slightly under an hour.
Just a little under an hour.
To the most, but look at the skin. So you can, that's beautiful. So the brownness of that, you can actually brown inside here, but with the turkey, if you want that brown skin, pop it in your oven on broil for just a few minutes and then right on inside here for an hour. That's the beauty of this machine. You can cook for 2. You can cook for 22, maybe 202. We are talking a 15-pound turkey inside this machine in a fraction of the time that it would take you. So look at the moist, juicy, tender turkey. The breast just came apart from the rest of the bird because it's that moist. It's that tender. Talk about a white meat that you've never had before. Look at that turkey. So when you cook under pressure, you are infusing flavors, but you are retaining moisture. You will never eat a more moist, juicy, beautiful turkey than a pressure cooked turkey. Yeah. And I've never known a turkey that could fit inside a pressure cooker until we introduced our 10-quart. As far as I know, Callie, there are no other 10-quarts on the market. Not just with Elite, but just with anybody.
And that's, thanks for mentioning that, because I like having a bigger capacity, because what are you going to do when that big feast does come upon you and the holidays are going to be at your house this year? You don't have the option if you get a smaller version. I say get the bigger version like this, especially when it's priced kind of like the smaller version. It's $50 off tonight. We're almost at 300 spoken for, and we are just getting started. So again, the item number being 359087. We are going to talk more about the science behind pressure cooking, because to me, it is the best way in the world to cook, because the food to me is more moist and the nutritional benefits are much, much higher. The vitamins and the minerals are retained instead of being boiled off or steamed off. That's why I love the color of vegetables when they come out of this. Let's show everybody.
This is why people love Elite.
Yes, this is the
reason right here that Elite is the #1 selling pressure cooker in the history of HSN. We sell a lot of pressure cookers here. but this is why. It's a digital brain built into the front of the machine. This, you don't have to know PSI or pounds of pressure. All you have to know is what you're putting inside. A lot of people are intimidated because they think you have to be a mathematician. Watch all you do. If I'm making a dessert, I choose dessert. It's pre-programmed to know exactly how much pressure and how long it's going to need. Soup is its own setting. Beans, that's from dry. That's its own setting. 40 minutes from dry. Fish and vegetables, I have to showcase that one. Watch what happens. That says 5 minutes. In 5 minutes, you get fish and vegetables done. You have a pork setting. You have potatoes and yam setting, a meat and chicken setting. You have a rice setting. You're able to use your own time. So if you have a certain recipe that you know takes 18 minutes, you can do that. There's a keep warm function. What's really cool about that is once the machine is done cooking your meal, it automatically switches to keep warm. It doesn't keep cooking your meal. So it's not going to overcook your food. So maybe you put something in here and then you had to run pick up the grandkids or the kiddos, or you take a phone call and you forget about the food. It switches to keep warm. It doesn't overcook it.
That's a great
Nobody
feature.
has an oven that automatically turns off.
That's
your oven would burn your food.
Feature. And that's the thing I love too.
Yep.
Did you go through it all yet?
And then you have a delay timer. So I can set this up to 24 hours in advance if I'm doing something like rice or dried beans or a soup or a stew.
This is because you can put everything in there. If you have to go off to work or you're going to be gone for a couple hours, you have a PTA meeting, it'll start automatically. And with families that have, you know, schedules that are back and forth and up and down and kids coming and going, it's so nice to make a big batch of something, and then you can always freeze it. Yeah. But this is the best, like, home cooking flavors because in a lot of ways, it's like my grandma who used to spend days having to, like, you know, slave over the stove, and to this day, and I said it before, but it's true, she was the best cook on the earth. This is the way to still get some of those home-cooked flavors because they really infuse into each other. When everything is under pressure, the fruits, or not the fruits, but the vegetables.
You can do fruit. Yep.
You could do fruit. You can.
Yep, absolutely. You can can in it. That's why we love the size.
We're going to move on. I don't want to get too carried away with my own.
No, absolutely. You can can in this. You can do your soups, your stews. You can do 10 quarts, or you can do 1 quart.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of having the large-sized machine. Now, speaking of 10 quarts, you're probably going to want to do 10 quarts of the most beautiful ooey gooey, delicious ooey gooey is an official term, mac and cheese. Okay? Now, you're probably thinking to yourself, well, I can do mac and cheese. I can do it in my oven or on my stove.
So good.
Or however it is that you like to do your mac and cheese. But here's what you do with this mac and cheese. Look at the cheese, okay? Seriously. You pop in the noodles from dry. You put in your broth or water, whichever liquid you choose. You put it under pressure for about 7 minutes. And then once that's finished, you pop in your cheese for about 2 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
And we've added some pimento and some jalapeno to our spicy mac and cheese. But look at the way that the cheese is melted. This is creamy. It's delicious. It's flavorful. And oh, by the way, I didn't have to slave over a stovetop. I didn't have to heat up my oven. All I had to do was plug in my pressure cooker, push the button, walk away. The machine does the work for you. 10 quarts of mac and cheese is enough to conservatively feed 20 guests 2 cups. That's a big helping.
This is what I'm talking about. Incidentally, if you want some great beans, see them down there in front of us.
Grains.
They're available to you, and we do have them. I think that they're maybe listed at the bottom. $29.95. You get the gourmet bean and lentil collection, the whole lot of them. Basmati, the French lentil, the red rice, the black rice, and it's item 367078. Those are beautiful, beautiful products.
That is delicious. I just had a bite of it. That jalapeno gives it a little kick, gives it a little color.
I'm gonna have to
so
get
that's
in there.
10 quarts of mac and cheese.
I'm still in the stuffing.
We did the stuffing with the turkey. But here's a start to finish demonstration because you might be still thinking, it's intimidating. I remember the jiggly one. I'm scared of pressure cooking for some reason. We have this fear factor in our head about pressure cooking, but not with this one. So start to finish,
The chart that we're going to show everybody is really, it's a time saver. Look at some of these things. I mean, compared to, you know, traditional cooking, a fraction of the, I mean, from rice to beans to pork and fresh and fish and vegetables and everything in between. I mean, we're talking a fraction of the time.
We're talking beans from dry in 30 to 40 minutes. Now, that's overnight soaking in the traditional world, you know. 30 to 40 minutes beans from dry. A potato in 12 minutes. I mean, you're talking pork in 20 minutes. This is a start to finish demonstration because you can actually brown your veggies on the inside. Yeah. So it gets warm enough so that we can brown. We did our veggies. Now, here's what you're going to do. This is as easy as you can make pressure cooking. Everybody has a box of pasta in their pantry, right? Take your box of pasta, throw it in from dry, all right on top of your vegetables. Go into your freezer or your refrigerator and grab your bag of meatballs, or maybe this is frozen chicken breast or frozen shrimp or, you know, pork, whatever it is that you have at home. Pour your protein in. Go ahead and just take any jar of soup. Maybe it's a can of salsa. This happens to be a jar of spicy marinara. It could be any liquid that you want to infuse flavor into. You can see what I'm not doing, Callie. I'm not sorting or measuring or sifting or getting out a kitchen scale.
This is my way of cooking.
You just, you know, for lack of a better term, pour it all inside here. I'm not even going to stir it, okay? That's how easy this machine is to work. Then you pop that lid on and twist it into place. Once it locks into place, you can't get it open. No worries there. There's pictures right up here. If you're new to pressure cooking, leave that on the top. It'll be a great reminder. But then you go down to that digital brain. Once you've locked the lid on, you're going to choose meat because, of course, our main ingredient there was our meatballs, all right? I'm going to hit that meat button. Can you see that number? It's flashing 12. In 12 minutes, once this machine comes up under pressure, it will start counting backwards. You don't even have to push the start button. You just select it and you go. When you see it spinning, that's coming up to pressure. You keep this valve into airtight position. There's a little valve right here. Once it's under pressure, it immediately beeps and starts counting backwards from 12, okay?
Oh, baby.
You're talking just a few minutes to get to pressure, and then it counts backward from 12. 12 minutes, all right?
12
so
minutes.
In the time that it would take you to feel guilty about going through the fast food line or to take a poll over what kind of pizza you wanted to order, and you're spending extra money and you're, you know, not exactly conserving calories, you can make a beautiful pasta meal from scratch like Mama made or Grandmama
like
made.
Mama.
I mean, look at that pasta.
Yes. Oh,
that was from dry.
Amazing.
Those were our meatballs. At the very end, you can see we sprinkled some mozzarella cheese right on top. You could grate some fresh Parmesan.
And you know what's cool is that when it comes time to sprinkle the cheese at the end, like we keep saying, all you do is twist the lid. It's not like the dangerous pressure cooker that we used to think of. That I think of when I was a little girl growing up with my grandmothers. There's a release valve right here, and it couldn't be safer. Elite has perfected this, and I know we are slamming busy on this tonight. If you, let's see, we've got the red, the blue, the orange, and the black. Red is going to be the first to go. It usually is, just giving you a heads up there, because well over 450 have been ordered already. Right now would be a great time to get your color of choice, that being 359087. We also want to head to the phones to say hello to Fabiana in New York, who owns this pressure cooker. Right, Fabiana?
Hi, Fabiana.
Yes, I do, and I couldn't be more happy about it.
Oh, that's great to hear.
Everything you guys said it does, and it's a great helper in the kitchen, too.
It's a great helper in the kitchen?
Yes, because when I can do multiple meals and don't worry about taking stove space if I'm cooking for the family.
Yeah.
So it takes a lot of work out of me, and then I can concentrate like in dessert and other things. I love it. I love it, especially when you cook beans in it. We impressed the family when we went to a party and we brought a pressure cooker, and we did a specialty dish from our country, which is Argentina. It's called puchero, which includes beans and all type of meat, pancetta and sausages.
Yes.
Everybody went crazy about the pressure cooker.
I was just going to ask about your accent, wondering what kind of yummy foods that you're making for
Argentina.
That's so terrific, Fabiana.
Good for you. You're absolutely right.
Say it again.
We love our meat in Argentina, and all Argentinian people are crazy about meat.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And meat that gets so tender because it's under pressure this way.
Yep.
Absolutely. We also did a recipe of lima beans with smoked pork necks that came out like amazing.
I need some of your recipes. Yeah, me too. Find us on Facebook.
Almost every day. All my friends and family members go crazy when I put the postings of the recipe we cook.
That's wonderful.
Everybody gets jealous.
And you've got the space saver, the time saver, and like you said, I mean, making so many different things, and then it gives you more time to make the desserts and specialty sides.
When we get to family get-togethers, it's a lot of people, so we cook a lot of food. And I'm a baker too, so I tend to do desserts too. But I like to bring some savories as well.
Well, you've inspired us.
What I do is I leave my beautiful pressure cooker doing the job for me while I'm concentrating more delicate recipes such as desserts.
Oh, you are so adorable.
She's efficient. That's
you
wonderful.
really have inspired us.
So
I love the
much.
idea of like the pulled porks and the chickens and things that you, with all the beans and the meat. Thank you so much, Fabiana. We loved that call. Speaking of great meat under pressure.
So grab that for me. 3 racks of ribs.
Seriously.
When's the last time you were able to do 3 racks of ribs? You know, even on a grill, you wouldn't be able to do all 3 at the same time. This is why you want 10 quarts.
This is one of my favorite
If you're like Fabiana
things.
and you have a huge family, you're always or you could just do 1 rack of ribs. That's the beauty. 30 minutes, between 30 and 45 minutes, depending on how much you put inside. These are going to be the most moist, juicy, tender, beautiful ribs. You can see as I'm pulling them out, they're falling apart. Look at that bone. It is literally fall off the bone ribs. You could slice them if you wanted to put some liquid smoke in here to get a little bit of a smoky flavor, or you could finish them on the grill for smoky flavor. Use barbecue sauce as a liquid. You could use beer, or I've heard people using a can of soda as a liquid. Look at the ribs that you get in a pressure cooker. You know those rib competitions that they advertise, they show on TV? They're like actual TV shows.
Right.
Most of those are done under pressure, especially at first. Because pressure-cooked ribs are unlike any other way of cooking ribs.
There's no better way.
It infuses the moisture, and you can see all I need to do is just take a fork and look at that meat.
Oh, come on. Walter in Tennessee is joining us, who owns the pressure cooker. What do you think, Walter? What would you say to somebody about it?
I really like it. My wife bought it when it first came out in August. I noticed that y'all haven't showed the big factor that we like is that you can throw frozen stuff in it, and within 15, 20 minutes, you've got a meal. We are a very busy family, and that was one feature that my wife liked about it. You can automatically just go ahead and throw it in, and I forgot to lay out the dinner the night the day before or whatever.
No biggie.
So it's really easy. We've had pork chops in there frozen. I mean, within 15 minutes. You've got, we've had the, what else? Spaghetti. We had chicken casserole. I mean, we've experienced it, everything that, we can. I have the old-timey one, and I like it, but my wife, she'd never cooked with it, so, she bought this one in August, and it's been just a wonderful thing.
That's so great.
In the situation of you're crammed for time.
Yeah, no question, and most of us are.
Thank you for bringing that up straight from frozen right into your pressure cooker. Frozen shrimp, frozen chicken breast, frozen meatballs, frozen, anything right into the pressure cooker. Once it comes to pressure, it takes only a matter of minutes to come to pressure and then to cook. The ribs are unbelievable. This is one of my favorites. 20 ears of corn.
No, really?
You ever done 20 ears of corn? I don't think I would ever have a pot big enough to do 20 ears of corn. Inside here is a nonstick 10-quart stock pot. If you looked up a 10-quart stock pot, it'd be $100. I mean, so you're getting the stock pot and the pressure cooker, completely nonstick, so when I'm done with it, I can throw it in the dishwasher or just wipe it clean. 20 ears of corn. Callie, the button for vegetables is programmed to 5 minutes. Throw a couple of sticks of butter in here, and 5 minutes, you are going to get corn infused with butter. Maybe you want to add some garlic. Your corn will then be infused with garlic. Maybe you want to add some hot sauce or salsa.
Oh, it's all good
Do
to
some
me.
kind of spicy corn, whatever you want to infuse. Pop it inside the pressure cooker, and it's going to infuse into the fibers of the corn kernel.
If you want to take advantage of this $50 savings on this bad boy, you really need to make the call or go to hsn.com. And I say that because you will love it. This price is amazing. Over 700 have now been ordered, and we have more than that on the phones ordering, which leaves us with about 1,500 total between the 3 colors. Let's see. I think we have 4 colors still: red, black, orange, and blue. Red will be the first to go here. Oh my gosh, watch this.
Pulled pork.
Fall apart.
Fall apart pork. We did our veggies at the
how
same
many
time.
minutes?
You're going to have a gravy and broth. 40 minutes. To the most beautiful fall apart
It's awesome.
pork.
You will be very, very happy with this purchase.
I mean, talk about fall apart. I'm using tongs to get that apart. Look at that. Perfectly done. Do pulled pork nachos, pulled pork sandwiches. Here's the other thing. You can get a less expensive cut of meat, and it will taste taste like the most expensive cut of meat based on the infusion of the liquids. When you infuse under pressure, the nutrients remain intact. Remember at the beginning I said it's a more nutritious way to cook?
That's true.
When you pressurize and cook under pressure, all the nutrients stay there. If you steam or if you're doing like an oven, you can see the evaporation.
Delicious.
That's flavor, that's nutrition leaving, not under pressure. It gets infused back into the food, so it's more flavorful, it's more nutritious, and it's faster. Those 3 things that I promised, you might be thinking still I'm intimidated. Just give us a try.
This is like the best of all worlds.
It's
faster, it's more nutritious, it's more delicious, it's more affordable than it's ever been before. When it went on to become a customer pick, when it's $50 more. What you're getting it tonight and on FlexPay, $21, $21.99. It's yours to try. You've got a month to be able to work with it before you even decide to keep it. If you want the red, it is the final opportunity. We have the orange, my favorite. We have the blue and the black. The item number is the same no matter which choice you make on color, and we do have a clock on the screen. So with that all being said, I know I've been eating a lot tonight.
Good for you, girl.
But I've got fitness coming up next with Brenda Digraph.
So you're going to burn it all off?
Good, yeah.
But you're eating healthy because we're cooking under pressure.
That's true.
At the beginning, we talked about being able to can. You can see this allows up to 5, and these are different size jars. So if you're somebody that likes to can and you like to do those small batch canning, now you can do 5 jars without having to get out the giant canner, you know, boil the water on the stove. You know, canning sometimes is an all-day experience. Now when you can under pressure, look how simple it is. You can check out the Progressive Canning Kit too if you're somebody that needs some canning tools. This is online on hsn.com as well. But you're able to can inside here. So I encourage you to make, like, say 10 quarts of chili and then put it into your jars and can it in the same pressure cooker that you made the chili.
If you want the canning set, it is available listed at the bottom of the screen, 350-816. This is a handy tool right there.
Oh, absolutely. It's the little grabber. It'll help you do pouring your can, and it will also do the lids as well.
$17.95, and something looks like it just
came
finished.
to pressure.
Let's look at dessert first.
All right, so here's our dessert. Now, this is what's so much fun. Most people don't think about desserts and pressure cookers, but you absolutely just do a little online search, and there are blogs devoted only to pressure cooking desserts. Look what we've done with our favorite red wine. You just shave a little bit of the skin so you can see how we've done it in this beautiful decorative pattern. And then we did our favorite red wine, or it could be a port. Doesn't even have to be alcohol if you want to do an alcohol-free variety. But 5 minutes under pressure to the most beautiful poached pear. Imagine having a dinner party and serving poached pears. I mean, not for nothing, my friends would look at me like, where did you come from? You know what I mean? That, like, I'm having poached pears for dessert.
It's like,
and
who are you?
Who are you? And that's the thing. My friend Dana, it's actually my brother's girlfriend. She got a pressure cooker. I gave her one for Christmas. She comes up with the best recipes. She's posting on Facebook and tagging me in these recipes, and I'm like, I'm going to do that recipe. She just throws a bunch of stuff in. So that's why we love pressure cooking, because you can have fun. You can get creative.
It really is.
Throw it in.
It's freedom.
Press the button.
It frees up your time. You don't have to, like our caller Walter was saying, you don't think about it ahead of time, so you just come home with something frozen in the freezer, throw it all in, and literally in a fraction of the time that it would typically, take to put it in the oven or, do all. In fact, we're going to take a little review, starting with the incredible Campari poached pears.
Aren't those
amazing.
gorgeous? 5 minutes. I mean, 5 minutes to poached pears. You can see that right there. Those are our cans. We were able to can in this pressure cooker. It's large enough to do our cans. Right down the line, we're going in for our pulled pork. 40 minutes to beautiful pulled pork. 20 slices of corn, 20 ears of corn. The most beautiful ribs you've ever seen in your entire life.
And we don't even...